All right, on the front row, we've got Armada and then Roman starting on the outside front row. And then we've got DJ and Solange in row number 2. Row number 3, we got Matt and Detail coming around the outside. And then final row, Opix and Luke for Moto 2 at Grand Oak. And here we go. We're already green. Another 16 laps here at Grand Oak. This one's going to be midday, around noontime, I think. Should be all sunny and clear, so should be a nice change of pace from all the weather cheese that we've been... Oh, wow, some big contact already. That we've been experimenting around with. Should just be, you know, clear skies, clear vision, nothing from Mother Nature to worry about for these drivers. So should be nice for them. Off to a pretty good early start for Armada and Roman, both of them taking advantage of that track position and some contact in the midfield, and they're trying to make that lead gap as big as they possibly can. They're doing a good job of it so far. Deech getting really loose on that exit right there. And here we go up to Solange, and Solange splitting the difference. Okay, where'd he come from? He was super far behind. Wow, Armada's in the grass, and just like that, Solange going to take the lead. We've got to take a look at a replay or two of that. Look at this move. We have to go back even further and see how this started, because that was insane, the distance he came back from. A little bit of contact there from Roman. That loosens up Armada a little bit. And then there goes Solange. He sees the gap, sends it. And Armada, I think Solange did leave just enough room, but Armada, I think, was trying to react even harder. Like, I think he thought Solange was not going to stop turning in, so ended up getting into the grass a little bit. Did a nice job holding on to it, because that could have been pretty spooky right there. But big ballsy move from Solange, and it pays off big. He ends up taking the lead early on here going into lap 2, and he's going to have a huge advantage right now, especially because Armada and Roman still duking it out a little bit. Everybody else still behind them. So that move kind of came out of nowhere, but it ended up working out really well for Solange. Oh, wow. Armada trying really hard to hold on to the second place right here. Because, yeah, look at that. Look at that track position he's got now. This is a great start for Solange here. It's one of those drivers that's had multiple opportunities to try to steal a win this season. I think this is going to be another good opportunity for him to try to do so here in Grand Oak Moto 2. We'll see what he can do and see if he can maybe pull it off with this early track position. Armada's starting to go, oh my god, really starting to go back now. Wow. Matt going around the inside, Detail going around the outside. Armada doing a really good job. Oh, wow. Little bump and run. Slams Matt's beef, and is going to get him in the rough stuff there on the outside and try to work around the inside now. See if he can complete this pass. That was kind of rogue out of Armada. That came out of nowhere. I thought he was just going to settle in behind Matt, then he was like, nah, screw that. Hit the slam, got him loose a little bit, and now he's going to try to take this spot back. So Armada really fighting and looking a lot more feisty in these Grand Oak motos than he has previously. So going for some moves, and you love to see it. A little more aggression out of Armada. He's even gaining a little bit on Detail and DJ in front of him right there. So, or Opix, Detail and Opix in front of him. And yeah, going for it in that corner there too, you saw. So yeah, a lot more aggression out of Armada here, which you love to see. It looks like he's, I think, to me, this looks like the most comfortable that he's been on any of the tracks so far, like by far. I think he looks a lot better on this one compared to some of the other ones. Roman getting into the grass there, similar to what we saw Armada do earlier. Don't want to do that. There's a big run from Opix right there, and he's going to go to the inside here and try to complete this pass, possibly. It's going to be close. I don't know if he's able to complete it quite yet. He might. Yeah, this battle might continue all the way into turn 1. Get a different view here, and look at that. It absolutely is, but it's really going to work out for him once it gets to turn 1. It really opens up the door for Detail as well. Detail, yep, there you go. He's going to slide right in front of Roman. Roman with the switchback. Let's see if this can work for him. Not going to be on the outside now, so maybe not. He might have to cross over yet again. Not going to do so. He's going to try to hang it out around that least preferred line. It's not going to work out. Detail going to hold on to that spot. Armada, by the way, Armada and Matt still really duking it out back there. That battle again. I thought once Matt got by, I thought Armada was just going to chill out, but no. Really fought back, and it took Matt like an entire lap to get back around him. You see him completing the pass right there. So, like I said, Armada looking a lot more comfortable and looking a lot more aggressive on this track. So nice to see you getting involved in the battles there. Now we shoot up to the lead, and it's already, and Solange hitting the snake action, trying to worsen Luke's draft a little bit if he can. And yeah, the cheese has already begun. for the lead fight. Slaunch had a really nice early advantage. I think the biggest downside for him, the most unfortunate thing, is that this hasn't been one of his stronger tracks. He didn't have as much. He didn't have as much prep time. He got on like last second. Didn't have as much practice. So I think that's one of the bad things working against him here, is that some of these other tracks he's had a really good pace on. And if he had like that good of a start, that good of track position, he'd have a really good opportunity. This one I think is going to be a little bit harder, seeing as in qualifying, you know, he actually had, I think, Detail and Opix qualified in front of him for this one. Slaunch usually qualifies in the top 3. So it's going to be a little bit harder here. He's got the track position that he's really wanted in a lot of these races, but I don't think he has the same pace, at least not yet, on this track. Maybe he can find it here, maybe in this battle. He can find it a little bit, find some of the lines, start to improve it a little bit, use it to his advantage, but it's going to be hard to do for sure. Oh, wow, really good battling here. Yeah, Slaunch trying to position himself really well, and he's doing a great job of that. Luke on the outside just not going to be able to turn right there. And look at that. That's a huge move. Slaunch positioning himself perfect right there, not giving up that inside, and that gives him a bunch more room to work with. So, again, like, I don't think he's as fast on this track as he was, like, for example, Brands Hatch. Brands Hatch, he made a lot of mistakes, but he was really, really quick there, and had really, really good speed. But he's doing a good job of, again, positioning himself on the track in the battle and just getting up that far in front early on. The moves, you know, the move that he made, the crazy move through Roman and Armada earlier, that was huge, and it's really put himself in this position. It's given himself an opportunity to win, so we'll see what he can do. All right, we're getting pretty close. It's going to be a little bit, but we're getting pretty close to pit window here, too. Not quite yet, but starting the next lap, probably we'll start to see drivers potentially go into the pits. And here we go. Yep, the draft games continue on the front straightaway. I love it. And here we go. And Slaunch, again, just positioning himself well. But this time, the inside does open up for Luke there on for the switchback. And look at this. We have multiple battles through turn 1. Looks like Opix and Detail are doing the same thing. And Slaunch was actually able to get back in front of Luke there. It looked like he opened up the door a little bit, but he was able to hold off. So good job out of Slaunch right there. I'm just trying to show all these battles because there's multiple battles going on track right now. Multiple really good positional battles. And here we go back to the first-person POV. And Slaunch, again, just positioning himself on that inside. Maybe, oh, does he open the door a little bit here? He does. He does on exit. He finally opens up that inside a little bit, but will Luke have the run? He's going to have to go into the rumble a little bit, perhaps try to show how close it is. Maybe clearing Slaunch there. Can't see him. We're going to have to get the actual... There we go. Now we can see him. And yeah, not able to clear him. So he's going to have to go for a dive in this turn. Slaunch, maybe a switchback, or maybe he just tries to keep the momentum and goes for another pass, another move in a different corner. Detail and Opix really good battling right there still too. Yeah, the lead battle's been great, and like low-key, this podium battle between Detail and Opix has been fantastic as well. And it almost feels like a mistake not to mention it. The podium battle was actually involving DJ. DJ was actually making up a lot of time, but he went for an early pit right there. If you weren't paying attention to the ticker, DJ was in third, and with all the battling that Luke and Slaunch were doing, he was actually making up a lot of time on both of them. But before he quite got there, before he quite got into frame, or maybe he was in frame for a little bit, he actually went for an early undercut pit strategy, and he's going to try to, you know, use that fresh tire, or those fresh tires, use that to his advantage, and he's going to try to come out. He's going to try to come out in front of Slaunch and Luke with them on the different pit strategies. So we're going to see how this works out. A lot of drivers going into the pits here on this lap. Detail in, Opix in, Armada in, Slaunch in, so half the field. But we still got quite a few staying out. Roman and Matt are the two big strat cheesers in this one. Just staying out late, probably hards, and trying to pit really late. And then Luke going to pit a little bit later as well. So we're going to have to see how this works out because, you know, Luke's tires right now are going to be a big struggle. Slaunch's tires that last lap are probably a big struggle. Deech will definitely have to pay for it down the road, but this might benefit him right now. And again, it's a game of track position. Like, he's just banking on that track position being the thing that he needs to get a good finish, and he'll deal with the tire wear later. And if you take a look at the minimap, it's worked out so far. Deech actually did get in front of Slaunch by over a second too, just over a second. So with where Luke was positioned, I think Luke just got the lead from Slaunch, but they were both on tires that were going down. Yep, Luke's going to pit now, but the tires definitely were struggling at this point. I think Deech might inherit inherit the lead. It's going to take a little bit. Matt and Roman, they're going to have to pit too, so we're going to have to wait for them to pit. But I think DJ might inherit the net lead right here. So this undercut strategy that we haven't seen a lot of people go for, pit early, again, deal with the tire wear later, but get yourself that track position, get yourself that fresh rubber early. That might really benefit him here. And again, we're gonna have it's absolutely already benefited him. Here we go. Here we can see it. Luke exiting the pits on the right, and then DJ and Slaunch on the left. And yeah, Deech definitely got him. Now we're gonna take a look at Slaunch, and okay, so Luke does get back out in front of Slaunch. So he maintains his gap over Slaunch, but that really worked out for DJ. Yeah, that was incredible strategy right there. Big move. It's going to get him the net lead, and maybe it looked like Luke and Slaunch, good battle, duking it out for this win, but now we have another contender, and suddenly it looks like DJ might be the potential for the upset here. And he's had some speed, especially when he showed up, like, for example, at Lime Rock. Lime Rock, he had really, really good speed, and he tends to get better as the night goes on, and that's definitely true here. Did not show much speed in the first moto, but looking at the lap times, his lap times have been much, much better. In fact, I think his second lap, which is like the first full timed lap of Moto 2, was like already way faster than anything he set in Moto 1. So just like big improvement there. Oh, getting really loose in a turn 1 right there though. Luke gonna be right to the bumper already. And this is where things get interesting because again, if Deech can hold off Luke as long as he can and battle really aggressively here, maybe that brings Slaunch back into the fight. And then if he can make it a 3-way battle, that can really give both of these guys an opportunity to potentially take this win here. So, yeah, I think definitely in Deech's best interest to try to block as long as he can, try to hold on as long as he can, try to bring Slaunch back into this battle, because then, you know, right now, Luke doesn't have to worry about that, can just fully focus on trying to pass DJ, whereas if Slaunch gets back to the bumper, well, now you got to kind of try to defend second as well, and that could really work out for DJ's favor. So we'll see how this goes. It's actually a really interesting situation that we found ourselves in Moto 2. Really like how this is playing out here. And we're getting pretty close to the end already, too. Like, we're well over halfway. Getting close here to, like, the last quarter of the race. The snake drafts are coming out, baby. You love to see it. It's the fourth quarter, essentially. And the snake drafts are coming out. Trying to hold on to this win here. Trying to stop Luke's streak is what DJ's trying to do. But he's Tokyo drifting his way to it. He's keeping up pretty good speed doing it, but he's doing a lot of drift action we're seeing on the POV here. But somehow he's keeping up really good speed, even while doing so. Oh, that's going to be a pretty shallow entry right there. But again, he's just getting to the insides. He's getting to where he needs to be to protect the potential moves from Luke. He's doing a really good job of positioning himself and holding off any move that Luke could possibly make right here. And look at it. It's working. Look at Slaunch. He's definitely closed in a bit. He's still got a ways to go, but he's definitely closed in a bit. And if he could close in a bit more, if Deech could hold on a bit longer, get Slaunch in the draft, now that's when things could really get interesting. So let's see if Deech can hold on. I think one more lap, holding on to this could be really, really important right here. So let's see if he can do it. And Luke, oh, the late block from Deech. Luke back to the inside. I love the draft games that we're seeing here in the front straightaway. Back to the outside now. Wow, this is good stuff. Now let's see how it goes into turn 1. Oh, Deech, no, a little bit deep. Finally, the inside is open for Luke, and he's going to take it, and he's going to take the lead. And now Slaunch just gets... Oh, that's brutal for DJ. Look at that. Slaunch just got there. If Deech could have held that inside for just one more corner, oh, this could have been such a crazy situation. That is unfortunate timing right there. But at the same time, great battle action, great stuff that we love to see in this moto. Deech and Slaunch actually battled a lot in Moto 1, so they have experience doing that against each other in that moto for 5th and 6th. They were battling for a long time. A lot of comms from that. And here we are, they're battling again, but this time for 2nd and 3rd, they've improved a lot. Don't get me wrong, the track position definitely helped, but they've definitely improved on their pace quite a bit, and they've been putting on a show in this Moto 2. They're trying to really regain right here. Slaunch just barely finishing in the top 5, DJ just barely finishing outside the top 5. Well, now they're both fighting for a podium here, and they're both close to a win. And look at that detail and optics creeping into the frame, too. Do they have anything left for the end here? Deech still Tokyo drifting it everywhere. 3 laps to go. And man, there's just so much to talk about. This has just been such a good race. And I'm just glad that we have another one. I'm glad that this is a Triple Crown for this track because it's putting on a show like I knew it could. Just a really good battle action here. And Slaunch doing a good job. He's gotten away from Deech a little bit, and he's not losing that much time to Luke. He's still in this. He's still in this for sure. I think what really hurt him in this situation, honestly, was his first couple laps after pitting. I feel like his first couple laps after pitting were a little bit off. If they were on pace with the rest of his run, you know, who knows what position he'd be in with how, you know, aggressively Deech and Luke were battling for a while. But still in a really good position, and with a chance of potentially winning this. You never know what could possibly happen here. We're going to be going to 2 to go. This time by. Not much time remaining. 2-lap warning. So any moves, you're running out of time. Now is the time to make them. Opix, it's a pretty decent gap from Detail. He's close if Detail makes a mistake, but he's probably going to need that. You see Matt just creep into the frame back there, trying to make that long strategy work. Unfortunately, not working out too well in this moto, but trying to hold on for the best finish that he can. Got really far away from Roman and Armada at this point. So good for him, at least on those positions. And Detail trying to hold on to 4th here. Doing a good job of that so far. Now we go back to DJ. Just look at that contact. And DJ, unfortunately, lost out a little bit here at the end. And I think finally that tire wear is starting to come into play, right? That early strategy, it put him in position. And he was able to block for a long time, able to hold on for a long time. Now he's starting to fall off. The question is it enough for Detail and Opix to catch up for him? Or can he hold on to the podium? Because if he can hold on to the podium, then honestly, I think the strategy was worth it. Because he's still got a podium, which is where he was anyways. And it gave him an opportunity at a win for a while. It gave him a look at a win. So I'd say it was definitely worth it as long as he can hold off Detail and Opix. And he probably will be able to now, because look at this. What happened? Opix going for the 4th place position. We got to roll it back. What happened here? Oh, there you see it. Detail. Oh, that could have been really bad. Almost in the sand, almost in the guardrail. Very similar to what we saw with Matt in Moto 1. Slightly off on the positioning, but very, very similar. And similarly at the end of the race, and it's ironic, like that's what helped, you know, in the second to last lap, that's what helped Detail get that spot on Matt in the first race. Well, now it's in the opposite position, shoes on the other foot. He's got to try to defend. He could potentially lose the position from making that same move himself. But he's got a good crossover, a little bit of contact. Here we go, side by side. Detail trying to hold on to that 4th place, takes it back. Opix going to try to regroup here and see if he can still fight for that 4th place position. And that's a crazy mistake because, again, DJ's tires were falling off. If Detail didn't make that mistake, it would have been tough. But I think there was a chance that he could maybe just get close to DJ at the end because, again, DJ's tires, that early pit, are really smoked right here. But with that mistake, definitely not going to happen. I mean, yeah, look at this. Look at how much he's closing in. And this is after losing all that time from being in the grass. Yeah, I definitely think Detail would have had a shot at the podium if it weren't for that slight mistake. Here we go back to the front, though. Looks like he's going to hold on to that 4th place. Luke going to take the 2nd win of the night. Hard-earned one, though, here for this one. Really good battles throughout this moto. Slaunch taking a good 2nd place rebound. DJ, it prevails. It prevails. He holds on for 3rd. I think that mistake from Detail was huge. Look at how close it was. Detail 4th, Opix 5th, Matt 6th, Roman 7th. Then we go on board, or rather following Armada. Going to close out the moto in 8th, but gave us some very exciting moves that we love to see in the beginning. Those were a lot of fun. But GG's. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That was a good frickin' moto. If we do like votes later on, that might be my vote currently. We'll see if the grand final, any of the grand final races can top it. But that honestly might be my vote so far for, well, let's see if there's another moto tonight with Grand Oak. But my vote so far on Moto of the season, because that was just awesome. Like, just the different strategies, the way it played out. Great battle for the lead, the way the strategy played out. It was sick. We got one more race here on this track. See you guys there.